The hockey dude.
What is up? What is up? What
The
is
hockey
up?
dude. The hockey dude.
Yo, what's up, hockey fans? How are we doing tonight? Got a quiet night on the schedule, that's for damn sure. However, my boys are playing. And pretty excited for tonight's game against the Bruins. That I am. You guys ever have a Snapple and it's got that weird taste to it? It's almost like they used too many tea leaves or they cooked them too long or something. I don't even know. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just got that weird taste. And it's the whole entire case. It's not just one bottle. Where sometimes you go to the store and you get them from the store and there's that one bottle that just tastes like it's been sitting there for months on end and nobody just touched that rack of Snapples for whatever reason. Oh, I hate that. I'm a big Snapple fan. I don't know why. I love iced tea. I love the 4C powder. I love putting the 4C powder mix into the jug. But yeah, so I'm a little pissed off at my Snapple tonight. That's what I'm gonna go with to start this off. I see that the Lightning are up 3-0 on the Red Wings already. That's like 5 minutes into the game, and they're up 3-0. It's just a tale of two teams. If you want to be serious, it's just one team that has no identity. They're really limited in skill, and there's not a lot to be said for them. Aaron, I'm sorry that your Wings are having a tough year. It's time to just develop. Just develop, take the season, call it a loss, and move on. You know, it sucks to say. I don't mean to disrespect any Red Wings fans out there. It's a tough year. It's a tough year. What are you gonna do? It happens. It happens to the best teams. It's really unfortunate. Tonight we're gonna have some fun though. Tonight the stream is gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna play pure fantasy hockey. We're gonna build a team, a pure fantasy related team. Andy, what's up, my brother? Um, the jury's out on that. Is Lafreniere a bust? It's really hard to. It's really hard to make any type of boom or bust. Well, you could say who's a boom, but you can't say who's a bust just yet. Yeah, you can't even really say who's a boom right now. You know, I mean, Kaprizov has like 3 or 4 goals. Lankinen has 3 wins and a couple overtime losses and a regulation loss. Ty Smith's been on fire for the Devils. Um, there's some guys that you could say are a boom right now, but you also can't really say who's a bust right now. I don't think it's fair to assume at this stage of the season. Now, if we go into a longer run of these situations, then possibly, man, 3-0, 3-0, like 10 minutes into the game. Huh. And it's not like he was a top 10 pick either. So there's still a lot of room. Still a lot of room to make something happen there. Let's see the talent they put around him. You know, that's also key to something like this. So how are you tonight, Andy? How's the fam? I hope everybody's well. I hope you're doing well. We're gonna have a fun time tonight. We're gonna play pure fantasy general manager. Now, hold on, I gotta read something. We're gonna do homework. We're gonna do homework for next week. For next week on the docket, next Friday, we're gonna schedule it right now for next Friday. Okay, for next Friday, and there's a couple stipulations for it. We're gonna pick one franchise player exempt from the salary cap. We're going to go with current salary cap, current salaries. We're going to build a team around the cap. Okay, but one franchise player who's exempt from that cap. You got to have 13 forwards, 7 defensemen, and 2 goalies. But you have that one franchise player, so that one cornerstone, that one building block that you have that will be exempt from the salary cap. The other 22 players that fill out the roster will need to be within the current NHL salary cap with their current NHL salaries. It's going to be a lot of fun. What's up, my brother? How are you tonight? Appreciate your joining in and lurking, if you will. Feed that kid, Andy. Feed that kid. You need to be able to talk into your phone to bring your text, bring your chat more to the forefront, so we can get it across quicker. We need to get you set up with a. You know what you need, Andy? You need a headset for your phone so that you could feed the baby or bathe the baby, and you could talk and send your information while you have everything going on. Yeah, Johnny, I figured you're busy, man. You are the busiest person I know. I'm not saying that sarcastically. I'm not trying to be a POS and like put you down. You are the busiest person I know. It's insane. I really hope you get a chance to head out to Anaheim this weekend. I think it's going to be a huge event. I know it's far from you, but it could be well worth it. Maybe take the trip with one of your chickies. We know how you role play, hater. But yeah, I did predict. I do my daily predictions on thehockeydude10.blogspot.com, and I predicted tonight's games. I predicted the Lightning and the Flyers to come out on top. I don't remember the scores off the top of my head. I went 7-1 out of the 8 games that were played yesterday. Pardon me. Pizza before the Hockey Dude stream. Woof, bad idea. I went 7-1 yesterday. 7-1. And the only team that I lost with were the Kings. And Cal Peterson stood on his head. And I'm surprised I still lost with them. Tough choices, my friend. But you don't need to let any of them know except the choice that you make. It's kind of like putting a couple of them as a healthy scratch and seeing which one you want to see progression from. You know, it's kind of like what the Flyers are doing right now with the defensive units. Oh my God, I don't even want to get into that. Braden Coburn on waivers. Let's pick him up. We can use a third pairing defenseman who can actually solidify some of the issues in Philadelphia. But I digress. I'm not going to get into that. Andy needs a headset. Johnny needs a date. Hockey fans, I need you. I want to hear your team. Come on in. Let's talk hockey. I want to hear your all fantasy team. It's a pure fantasy team. There's no cap restrictions for tonight. For next Friday, we're going to do current salary cap, current player salaries. I appreciate that, my friend. I try to turn everything into a hockey analogy. Why not? I am the hockey dude. This is a hockey show. Except I started off bitching and moaning about my Snapple. Don't you hate when you get a nasty taste in Snapple? Oh, the whole case was like this. I'm so aggravated. Unfortunately for you, John, there won't be any Islanders on my team tonight. But I guarantee you for next Friday, my salary cap team, there will be one Islander that I'm likely going to pick. And I'm actually excited because he's one of my favorite non-flyer players. But I'm not getting into that right now. I'll get into that next week when it's more important. You'll just have to wait on the cliffhanger. Ha 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 ha. That was my terrible villain. I want to be a villain laugh. Not everybody could be Heath Ledger as the Joker, if you know what I mean. I got my Nolan Patrick flow, trying to catch up to him. We're getting there. We're getting some length out of this quaff. Getting some length out of it. So Andy, you're running on the fly tonight, huh? You're gonna be able to just throw it out there off the top of your head, which I must say I'm going to be very impressed with. I can't wait to hear your team. We're gonna go line by line, defensive pairings by defensive pairings, starter and backup. That's how I'd like to roll with our fantasy teams tonight. I should have brought a pen, but lucky for me, the chat will keep me up to date with everything that's said by everybody that joins in. I'm really excited to hear all your teams. Really excited to know who you would start your team with, who you would build around, and all that jazz. So yeah, hockey fans, join on in. Let's hear your fantasy team. Let's play Armchair GM. Why not? That's what makes nights like tonight a whole lot of fun. It's a quiet night on the docket. Not too many games. Hell, I could be here till 8 o'clock if you guys want that. I'm not going to. I don't want to bore you guys to death. But yeah, I did my predictions like I stated before. I got the Lightning and the Flyers tonight. I wasn't being a homer. I think the Flyers are turning things around. And I think they're going to erase those two Bruins wins from the beginning of the season by getting a win tonight. So I think I have an idea as to who everybody's going to start their team with. I think I know. I got to message somebody to get their things involved. Oh, I think I know. I think Jose's driving home right now. Hey, Aaron. Yes. Yes, you can say that. But I'm not. I'm not being one, honestly. There's been plenty of nights I haven't picked the Flyers to win. I put my allegiance aside. A, when it comes to this stream. B, when it comes to my predictions. C, when it comes to my podcast. Things of that nature. I am far from a homer, gentlemen. Aaron, how you doing tonight? Specchio, how you doing tonight, brother? How is everybody this evening? You ready to play Armchair GM? I know for a fact that I am. I'm really looking forward to it. Aaron, I don't know what happened to your Red Wings this year, man. Glad to have you here. Thank you for joining in. Appreciate it. I got to shave, I know. I'm letting the beard go. I'm going to see how crazy we could make this roll. The beard I'm going to go with, the mustache gets shaved. I've just been a little lazy this week. Got a lot of running back and forth with my dad and stuff. Nice to see you, Chris. Appreciate you being here. Oh, your beard or your mustache, Specchio? I I don't know, man. It's been a tough ride. I agree. I agree with you, Aaron. It's been a tough ride. But the only good thing about that is greener pastures. Greener pastures. You draft well, you pick up a few studs along the way, and before you know it, it's 2024, and they're in the hunt for the Stanley Cup. They're making the playoffs. Well, I don't think right now we have to worry about climbing corporate ladders unless you're doing Zoom meetings. But if that's the case, you know ahead of time you'll be able to shave. I can't do mustaches. I hate them. I don't know why. I just hate them. I hate the way I look with them, and I hate them. Plus, it's a lot of money to spend, Aaron. It's a lot of money to spend. Life is on Zoom and what have you right now. I mean, I'm pretty glad for the social media and the technology bursts that we've had because it gives me an opportunity to get things like this done on a platform like this. I'm grateful for Twitch. I get to talk with hockey fans. You know, there's hockey fans in New York, but there's not pure hockey fans. Not a lot of them. So it's an appreciation for all you to join in and have these discussions. It's a lot of fun. So my first question to everybody is, are you interested in starting your team with me tonight? Ooh, well, you know, the Wells Fargo Center put out some information today that they're moving closer to having fans in the arena for Sixers and Flyers games at some point in the near future. So it's things are starting to look up. The vaccination is here. It hasn't been too detrimental. You know, maybe one day we'll be able to get past this COVID nonsense. And again, I'm sorry if any of you had to deal with COVID in any way possible. Family, friends, yourselves, my heart goes out to you. I wish you speedy recoveries. I hope everybody recovered and are back to leading a normal, modern day normalcy type of life. Double mask up. It's important. Let's beat this thing together. But enough about that. Yes, hockey fans indeed are few and far between. But the ones that are there, Aaron, I love calling you that. I know, Aaron. The ones that are there, Aaron, are passionate, as you stated, like myself, like everybody that joins in on these views and in these chats. It's a passion that like none other. You know, it's almost as passionate as the gamers are with their gaming. And it's quite interesting. I watch a lot of these feeds, and people just love watching people play games. And I love it. I think it's awesome. I love watching the NHL 21 guys play their games. It's like watching a real hockey game. Pardon me. I'm hoping I can get across to the passionate fan base to come in and talk hockey with us. Because we are what make this an awesome thing to do nightly. And I love it. And I appreciate all of you. So, people, let's get in on it. Let me hear Specchio, Andy, Aaron. Eventually Jose will be here. Let me hear who your franchise cornerstone player would be if you had the opportunity to build a pure dreamers, pure fantasy delight hockey team. No salary cap, no restrictions. We're going to build from the top down instead of from the bottom up because this is a dreamer's life, and that's what we're going to do. Next Friday, we're going to have a lot more fun. It's going to take some homework. So if you guys really want to get involved, do a little bit of homework. What we're going to do is we're going to do one franchise player, salary cap exempt. And then we're going to do the other 22 players. We're going to build out a full 23-man roster. The other 22 players have to fit within the salary cap with their current salaries. So that's the fun that we're going to have next Friday. So it gives us a week and a couple days to build a team. If you're interested, I can't wait to hear about it. So, guys, tell me. Tell me who would be your franchise player. Who are you going to jump in for tonight's All Dreamer Fantasy team? Let's play Armchair GM. Let's do it. You know what's funny about that? I mean, it's probably obvious. I bet you Jose. I bet you Andy. I bet you Aaron. I bet you everybody's going to say McDavid. Andy, John would love to hear you say that, man. That's hilarious. I think we're all going to agree that it would be Connor McDavid. I agree with you. I think it's better to build from the defense out. However, with the top 10 goalies in today's game, if with all the goaltenders in today's game that are in the top 10, of course it's opinionated, but I think we would all have the same, close to similar top 10 goalies. And with all the defensemen in the league who can make this an interesting team, you're right. It's not hard to say McDavid at all. And that's why it should be everybody's number one choice. The kid's the face of the NHL. He's the modern day Sidney Crosby. There really is no other option. Nathan McKinnon would be a close runner-up, in my opinion. But Connor McDavid, his age, his skill set, his maturity, that's why we're building from the team out. But McDavid takes matters into his own hands nightly. He does all he can to propel his team to win nightly. Well, Sid had 102 points in his rookie year, but so did Joey Juneau. But Sid has the hardware and the consistency and all that good stuff. So who would you put as McDavid's wingers? We've all come to the consensus that Connor McDavid would be our number one pick to be the face of our franchise. And it's the obvious choice. It's not the wrong choice by any means. Okay, so we'll run with that for next week as well, Jose. Do me a favor, text me that. You can go whoever you want on your top line wings. It's your team. He doesn't anymore, Aaron. He doesn't anymore. Jose, when you get home, text me that info. I'm going to throw it in. So for next week, we're going to add in that you can only take 2 players from any given draft year. Make it a little more interesting, like Jose said. That'll be a lot of fun. So current cap, 1 franchise player cap exempt, current salaries, 2 players only from any given draft year. 23-man roster. Next Friday, live with the hockey dude. Should be fun. So you would go Marner and Ovi on the top line wings. Andy's going Draisaitl and Kucherov on the top wings. I'm going Breadman, McDavid, and Andy, I like the way you think, Nikita Kucherov as my top line. So I'm going with Artemi Panarin, Connor McDavid down the middle, Nikita Kucherov on his right side. I actually left Draisaitl out of this. Well, if it's Ron Hextall, they're definitely going to rebuild. I think you'll see Letang and maybe even Malkin moved. But that's my opinion. And if it is Hextall, he'll definitely go into a rebuild. He loves drafting, and he loves developing kids. We saw it with LA, we saw it with Philadelphia, and maybe we'll even see it with Pittsburgh. It would be the ultimate nightmare for me. But who knows? They could get a truckload. They could have teams back the truck up for Letang and Malkin. It would be a no-brainer. But again, that all depends on what their season looks like. If they start to falter really bad, I agree. That could be one of the reasons. Or he could have just had enough. It's a very valid reason. So speaking of the Penguins, I got a second line. Who would you guys go with your second line center? Speaking of, my friend James would love to know that you put Mitch Marner on the top line. He is a huge Mitch Marner fan. So kudos to you on that. Andy, kudos to you on the Kucherov. We think alike, my friend. We think alike. So who would your second line center be, everybody? Where are we at? Let's hear it. I'll wait for you. Homer. No, I'm just kidding. It's not a bad choice. It's not a bad choice. It's not my choice, but it's not a bad choice. Absolutely, Jose. As I'm doing with tonight's roster, it has to be player position. Okay, so Specchio, you got Matthews. You got Matthews center in your second line. Who's your wingers? Homer. And Andy, when you could chime in, what's your second line? Jose, I know you're driving, man. I'm sorry. I wish I can get your lines. Maybe you'll be here quick enough to drop in your top two lines before we get into the third line. Everybody going Austin Matthews on the second line, down the middle, behind Connor McDavid. I go Sidney Crosby. I go Sid, the one-time kid. The kid still got it. He almost scored Michigan style the other night, man. I gotta go Crosby. He's still elite. Did you know you can't spell elite without Sydney? It's a terrible joke. So you guys got Matthews. Who's your wingers? Specchio. Johnny Gaudreau. Overrated. Very interesting. We all have Patty Kane on the second line. Congratulations. I went Ovechkin, Crosby, Patty Kane. Can you imagine trying to stop that line? Are you shitting me? Can you imagine that? So we all agree Patty Kane on the second line. I went with a full arsenal of the United Nations with my second line. And I'm not upset about it at all. I think the rest of the next 6 players, I don't think any of us will have a similarity. I could be wrong. And Andy, if I know you, and I think I do, we may have 1 or 2. Jose, Taze was my healthy scratch center, if it makes you feel any better. McDavid, Crosby, Matthews, and a healthy Johnny Taze. That's quite the down the middle, if you ask me. So we have the same top two centers, which is awesome. Be careful driving, buddy. Safe travels, man. All right, so who's everybody's third line? Let's just drop the lines completely. Let's just go all out. I want to see what your third lines are. Mine's really interesting, but I like mine a lot. So I want to hear your guys. Everybody's got Austin Matthews. Maybe I homered out with my fourth line. Maybe that's why. I was going to put Johnny Taze in there, but there's just, I don't know, man. There's something about my bottom two centers that I really, really went with. I just went a little different. That's all I could say. I just went a little different. And it is what it is. So far, we have some awesome, dominating lines. So what do you say would be a third line? Because I really think I have an interesting one. It can score. It can bang. It can play defense. It does all the intangibles. And there's teammates involved, which... Holy cow. Yo, you guys... I'm going to show you my list. You guys are awesome. However, I went a little bit different on my left wing. I went Andrei Svechnikov from Carolina. I went Patrice Bergeron as my center. And I went Pasternak as my right wing. Yo, Marchand, Crosby, Bergeron. Okay, so you put Bergie, because he does play both positions, which is fine. That's an actual sick line. That's the Team Canada line. I agree. So just because we all said Marchand, I'm going to give you my fourth line. And then I'll wait to hear your guys, which I'm very interested in because this has been dope. I went Brad Marchand, Sean Couturier, and Steven Stamkos. And Steven Stamkos. Just so you guys know, I'm not full of it. Those are my lines. Don't mind my chicken scratch handwriting. As my late mother once said, I should have been a doctor. But boy, would that never happen. Those are my lines. Who's your fourth line? Who's your fourth line? Let's hear it. Yeah, man, that dude could put the puck in the net. He bangs. He's like Ovechkin's mini-me. Not comparing the two, but I think you understand what I'm saying. So who's your guys' fourth lines? Man, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that we all had so close. Holy cow, is that a fourth line or what? Holy cow, is that a fourth line or what? Gentlemen, we pretty much all had real close to the same players, which I am dumbfounded by. We all, just goes to show, we know our hockey. I homered out a little bit. You guys homered out a little bit, which is, perfectly acceptable. Gotta homer out from time to time. I hope I hope Marchand, Bergeron, and Pasternak don't totally burn me tonight, man. Woo! I'm looking forward to tonight's game. That's a crazy line, Andy. That's a sick line. I would not want to have to face that. I don't care if you gave me Bergeron, Couturier, and Marchand. Ooh, dirty Tom Wilson. First round draft pick, Tom Wilson. Nikolai Ehlers is an amazing hockey player. I'm surprised you went 2 Jets there. But that's an interesting fourth line. That completely off the wall, completely out of left field. I was not expecting that. Ehlers is having a hell of a season. Shifley's phenomenal. Tom Wilson, huh? So you got to break that one down for me. What made you choose Tom Wilson on the right wing between Shifley and Ehlers? It's all right, Aaron. You're lurking, and I appreciate that. And a hell of a line at that, Andy. Aaron, if you had to give me a top line, Aaron, if you wanted to give me a top line, what would your top line, pure fantasy, pure dreamer related, what would it be? Well, he's made a name for himself over the last 2 years, or this year and last year. It's not relevant these days really at all. It's funny where the instigator, where that tough guy, where that Ty Domi. I mean, you got a little bit in the Kachuk brothers, Tom Wilson. There's a few guys around the league. Joel Edmondson. You know, there's guys around the league that will scrap for sure. Wayne Simmons. I know you all love Simmer. I miss Simmer. I know you all love him. Gotta love you some Wayne Simmons. But listen, let's dive into our defensive pairings. This should be fun too. I love the lines that we threw out there. You guys made my night. We were so close. Yeah, that Simmer fight really turned things around. I'd rather call him Specchio. It's more fun. So let's get defensive pairings, boys. What do you say, eh? Let's get some defense. Who would your top defenders be? What would be your first unit that you threw out there? No triggers, no triggers. This is all fun. No triggers. Defensive pairings. Top defensive pairing. Whew. Whew, whew. Okay, so Roman Yossi and Shea Weber, very interesting. Victor Hedman, yeah, I mean, and Alex Pietrangelo, huh? I need, I need, I need an explanation behind that one, Andy. Not a bad choice. I go with Shea Weber and John Carlson. That would be my top pairing. So why Pietrangelo? I'm just curious, Andy. I know it's tough for you to type right now. Maybe if you want to just throw me the cliff notes, that could be kind of cool. Okay, so we got our top pairings out of the way. I got Weber and Carlson. What would the second unit? There he is. So Gaudreau, huh? No, it's okay, Aaron. I appreciate you still chiming in, man. So a couple of you guys mentioned Johnny Gaudreau. in the lines. Interesting. I don't mind him. I hope he comes to Philadelphia, but scoring forwards, that's not where we're lacking. All right, Vecchio, what's your second pairing? Aaron, we're into the defense, but by all means, please type out all your lines. I would love to read them and see what you bang out. So give me your second, third, and fourth lines as you can. We still got a few minutes here. I'm not going anywhere for a little while. My second pairing is Brent Burns and Victor Hedman. So I threw Johnny Tazen on the taxi squad on my forwards. I do have somebody I'm going to throw in my taxi squad on my defenseman as well, because I'm even looking at my list. I'm going back and forth on a few guys. So I went good old Yeti, Brent Burns, and and good old Victor Hedman, who actually has a goal tonight in that Tampa Bay Detroit game. Let's get a score update. What do you say? What do you say? What do you say? 4-0 Tampa in the second. 12:23 to go. Braden Point gets me, my fantasy team, a big goal on a quiet night. Very good for me. Oliver Ekman Larson. Aaron, type out your forward units too, if you obviously have the time. I want to read them, dude. I want to know what you got up there. Yossi and Oliver Ekman Larson. I told you guys I went Burns and Hedman. I wish I could get OEL. You kidding me? No, I know, dude. I'm just saying, I wanted more of your forward units as well. You gave me a top line. I wanted second, third, and fourth lines too, brother. How was Nashville? Great city? I mean, I've heard nothing but great things about it. OEL's phenomenal. You can see whenever he gets hurt, it's bad times when he goes down. So, oh, that's pretty cool, dude. I've never been. I don't know anybody that knows anything about it from a personal standpoint. So I couldn't tell you anything about it. I guess the slang just kind of comes with the territory. Although not being biased, I don't think anybody that moved to New York would have New York slang or Brooklyn slang, if you will, because Brooklyn's all about the how you doings, and they we walk our dogs, we drink coffee. You know what I'm saying? You guys get it? You know what I mean? All right, Aaron, enjoy your dinner, whatever it may be, man. I appreciate you stopping in for a little while. That's a pretty interesting story, right? All right, so give me your second and third pairings right before you leave, buddy. This way I can see what we got. Andy, Seth Jones and Miro Heiskanen, huh? All right, man. My third pairing was Ivan Provorov and Cale Makar. I really was going back and forth with putting Doughty there, so Doughty's my taxi squad. I put Johnny Tays and Drew Doughty on my taxi squad. Type it up, baby. Type it up. And who's your starting goaltender? Andy, who's your starting goaltender? Rye, who's your starting goaltender? We're talking hockey. We played Fantasy Armchair GM tonight. Next Friday, a week from this Friday, we have some stipulations, if you will. We're going to play Armchair GM. However, we're going to play one franchise player who's salary cap exempt. So one franchise player, salary cap exempt. 22 other players. Obviously, you have to make up your 14 forwards, your 7 defensemen, and your two goalies within the salary cap with their current salaries. You have to pick them by their actual position. And you can only pick 2 players per draft year. Those are the stipulations. If you want to know them in detail, email me, thehockeydudex@gmail.com. Since 2014, 2015, Carey Price has posted a 2.49 goals against average and a .917 save percentage. He's played on some piss-poor Montreal teams, and he's played on some mediocre Montreal teams where he has been the backstop to all of any of the success that they have had. There's no denying that Carey Price is one of the top 5 goaltenders in the National Hockey League for pretty much his existence. I, too, gentlemen, take Carey Price as my starting goaltender. I will also tell you that since 2014, 2015, my backup goalie has posted a 2.33 goals against average. Not to mention he's played on some pretty phenomenal teams. Not hard to do so. But he is a Vezina Trophy winner. He has posted a .919 save percentage. And my backup goalie is Andrei Vasilevsky of the Tampa Bay Lightning. What say you, gentlemen? And ladies, if you're watching, chime on in. National Women's Day. Want to give credit where credit is due. You all make all of us men better. It sucks that the NWHL has closed its doors for COVID protocols. Excuse me. It really sucks. They had an opportunity to shine this weekend. I hope that there's some type of resurrection in the near future. As a Leafs fan, how hard is it for you guys to take Carey Price as your starting goaltender? Like, is that the hardest your fingers ever had to work just now? Is that how difficult it had to be for you guys to actually type Carey Price? Andy, I would have went John Quick before John Gibson. Just me. I do have an affiliate, a love affair with Johnny Quick, obviously. Fair enough, Rye. Fair enough, buddy. So, Andy, John Gibson I don't dislike that pick at all. Yes, yes. It's a very. He's become a very good friend of mine. I love talking with him. We share a very similar mind. It's scary. Probably why we have great trade conversations in our simulated leagues. Oh, hey, if anybody out there, I'm talking to you. Hello, world. Hello, hockey fans. Listen, if you know of any sim leagues that are going on a fresh start, brand new, if you will, kindly get at me and let me know. You can reach me on Twitter. You can email me at thehockeydudex@gmail.com. I'd love to know if you're starting a fresh league. I'd love to get involved. You know, your allegiance should be to the fact that he's Team Canada, rah rah, and Canadian. Who cares if he plays on the Habs? With something like this, you got to put your allegiance aside. I was actually going to go a quick over Vasilevsky, to be honest with you guys, but just their numbers were similar. I don't know why. I just felt like Vasi, his presence in the net just spoke to me a little bit more than Quick, even though Quick's phenomenal. Well, he's on some piss poor Ducks teams. That could have a lot to do with it, you know? I should pick him up in some of my fantasy leagues. He's having a quietly good year. Even with the bad start the other night, it's expected, you know? Yeah, Andy, if I find one, I got you, brother. Hey, Rye, enjoy your ribs if you happen to take off before I see it. Fresh start. Okay, so Andy, fresh start. Would you want to go full on expansion draft where you get to like this, like we just did? Cool, I got about that much time left on what I want to do here too. You and Kevin should make one. Yeah, not like, okay, I want the Philadelphia Flyers, so give me the current roster. I want to do like we did tonight. I want to pick player for player, position by position, with what we're going to do next week within the salary cap, current salaries to start things off would be really awesome. Man, oh man, we could have a lot of fun. But I'm looking for one. So if any of you know, if anybody's actually listening to this that hasn't chimed in and you're watching along and you know anybody that wants to start a simulated hockey league, let me know. No, Ryan, I understand, man. There's a reason why there's reasons why you had to give up the fort when you did. I get it, dude. Why come back and dedicate something that could be really difficult for you, time consuming? You got a lot going on, bud. I'm in a band too, dude. It's awesome playing music, right? Okay, Andy, so you would want to, for instance, you would want Vegas? Oh, so you would still want to do the snake draft, fantasy draft. Gotcha. But if it was 31 teams, would that really shy you away? I think I'd be able to to twist your arm just a little bit if we got the opportunity to go full on draft, full league. I think. I think that's just me though. Man, we made some awesome lines tonight, boys. It was a lot of fun doing this. I wish Jose was able to join in. I know he had a lot of great ideas, but I'm sure he'll do his homework and present quite a team for next Friday. He's the one that gave me the ideas to do it the way we're going to do it for next week. Do your homework. Get involved. Andy, I know you're going to. I know you're going to be there. I know you're going to have a team presented. I mean, we're going to have to put guys like Cam Atkinson and Keandre Miller and I don't know. I can't even think off the top of my head who a perfect backup goalie would be that's making under $2.5 million. I know you would, buddy. Man, if we could find one, I'd be really happy. Again, ladies and gentlemen, next Friday, Fantasy GM. However, 2 players per draft year. One franchise player exempt from the salary cap. You have to pick by actual position. We're going with the current salary cap and their current player salaries. You have to stay within the salary cap. So that's where we stand. Well, Ryan, you let me and Andy know. Kevin Lapointe, that's who you're talking about, yeah? If they don't make it happen, ladies and gentlemen, my friend Andy and myself are looking for a fresh start simulated hockey league. So do get at me. Right here on Twitter, at WeaponAnt. You can email me at thehockeydudex.com, at gmail.com. But let's make some fun hockey stuff happen. All right, cool, Ryan. I figured it was him. I just didn't want to assume and be wrong. Guys, I had an amazing chat with you guys tonight. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did too. Ryan, I know you and Andy both went off the top of your heads. I made a little bit of a list, only because I felt it would be more fun that way. But with that being said, we're going to end this for this evening. I got a game to watch in about an hour. I'm hoping it's going to be a lot of fun, just like the fun I had with you guys tonight. To everybody that lurked, I appreciate you. Join in on the conversation. Why not? Let's have some fun. Andy, Ryan, John, Aaron, Jose, the cool ones, thank you so much. It is appreciated. And until tomorrow, we'll have a new topic, same time, same channel. Dude, I know you're busy. I'm not going to rate him right now because these dudes would have no idea. And they're probably both gone already anyway. When there's a larger chat, I'll get in on the raids. But I don't think Funko and hockey. Oh, I don't even know what that is. Oh, that's interesting. I had no idea about that. But dude, don't worry about being vocal, man. You being here is awesome enough. I appreciate your lurks in the background. But Johnny, I'll text you, brother. Hit me up, all right? Everybody else, I'll talk to you when I talk to you. I'm actually getting out of here for now for real. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.